Okay. I'll do it. I'll sing. You don't have to beg. When I was just a little girl, my mama used to tuck me into bed and she'd read me a story. It always was about a princess in distress and how a guy would save her, ending up with the glory. I lie in bed and think about the person that I wanted to be. Then one day I realized the fairy tale life wasn't for me. Oh, I don't want to be like Cinderella, sitting in a cold. You know what? I'm done. Is that good enough? Is that good enough for you guys? Always asking me to sing. I didn't ask for this. I didn't ask to do this. Hello, everyone. Welcome to As If the Podcast with your host, Asia My Queen. So this is the first episode on YouTube. So if you're watching me on YouTube, how you doing? It's a new year. It is a new year. We're in 2022. I hope everybody is getting their New Year's goals off. But I mean, if you're not, that's okay. Because life is going to do what the fuck life is going to do. And that is life. You know, so dust yourself off and try again. That's what I've been doing. The first episode I did, well, my first taping, I should say, was awful. It was terrible. The lighting was terrible. And I don't know how this is going to look or sound either. But, guys, I'm producing, editing, I'm doing everything. So sometimes it might be a little off. I heard YouTube comments can get really mean. And you guys, let me just tell you, my dad left me when I was 14. And, you know, I'm just a little sensitive. So if you could please be easy on me, I would really appreciate that. But if you don't want to be easy, that's fine. That's okay. You could call me all types of dirty. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Leave the comment. It's okay. Where should I start? So, New Year's resolutions. That's exactly what I wanted to talk about today. All my New Year's resolutions are very materialistic, very shallow, and I'm okay with that. I think it's my time. It is my turn. And think, I've lived my life really, I would say other people would think it was selfish, but to me it was selfless. And now I'm being much more, okay. The reason why I think it was selfless is because I would be selfish but feel bad for it. But now I'm about to be selfish and not feel bad for it. So maybe I'll actually, you know, get the good things out of being selfish. So a lot of it is I just want to make some money. I want to make some money. I want to do my thing. I want to follow my dreams. I want to have fun. I want to have a good ass time. And again, make some more money. And that's pretty much it. I wrote down about 10 of those New Year's resolutions. About 8 of them has everything to do with ways I can make more money and ways I can make more money. But the most important goal that I have down is to be a better friend. And that is exactly what we're going to talk about today. If you're new here on the podcast, I have talked about before how I'm not really a good friend. I've never really been a good friend, and this year I'm being a lot more of an intentional person when it comes to being a good friend to good friends. I think I've made a bad definition of what a friend should be. So I've never really been a good friend. So to choose friends was very hard for me because it's like, what is a friend supposed to do, right? I was very inconsistent. I wasn't very nice. Didn't talk the nicest to my friends, and I would allow other people to do that same thing to me, and it didn't feel nice. And I was like, "Oh, wow. That's what I've been doing this entire time." So, here I am righting my wrongs and asking you, "Please be my friend." Nah. But okay, so let's take it back to the basics. So, I I want I want a grown ass friendship, you know? I want to go on vacations. I want to have Friendsgiving. I want to have a little sleepover. I want to come over on wine night and game night and da 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 da. I like all that type of shit. And that's what I'm manifesting. That's what, like, so I've been saying that's what I've been wanting. That's what I've been wanting this like past like maybe 6 7 months. I was like, dang, I'm really missing that. I'm really missing that side of myself. So I was like, how am I able to be? How can I get those type of friends? And I decided to be a better person. That's exactly just like if I could put that in a nutshell, that's exactly what I said to myself. I'm like, listen, if you want good friends, if you want to be around good people, you got to be a good friend and you got to be around good people. Because the other day I came out the closet that, I'm a fucking liar. And it's not exactly to other people, it's mostly to myself. I lied to myself and told myself that I'm a good friend and I didn't have anything to change. And I indeed have a lot of things to work on. And I had to run people away. Does that make sense? I said I had run people away. I had chased people away. And by my actions. Cause like, let me just say this. I could really, 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 I could end the episode by saying this and we could just drop the mic and just get to pushing, right? I had Napoleon complex, but not in the way that most people do. So when someone says someone has the Napoleon complex, it's usually a short person that is trying to overcompensate, being short by, being a fucking asshole, right? It's usually men, short men, and not saying all short men act this way, but when short men act that way, it's a lot of times because they're short and society treats short men, we're not gonna short shame here. I'm just defining what Napoleon complex is. I not short, but I was indeed ugly. So what I would do is I would overcompensate by being a fucking bitch. Like I was very angry that I was ugly, and in return, like how you feel about yourself is how you're gonna treat people. Point blank period. And because I thought of myself as ugly, I treated people very ugly. I talked down. I wouldn't really necessarily call people names, but I would kind of be what is that word? Like when you like almost like belittle people. I used to do that a lot. And cuz I think I've been um I'm not smart. I'm not smart by any stretch of the imagine. I'm kind of fucking dumb, but I think people view me as smart for some odd reason. Maybe it's because of the tone of my voice, because I really use very short vocabulary. None of the words that I really say are longer than 4 letters. But people think I'm smart. Some people think I'm smart. And I think that has allowed some people to take a step back and not really stand up for themselves when it came to me. So I took advantage of that. I really did. And I just was not the nicest person. So when I got to the point where I actually started thinking of myself as a pretty, like I'm like, wow, I'm fucking pretty. I'm actually gorgeous. I really didn't understand the point in being a bitch anymore. Like, honestly. And when I say pretty, when I say gorgeous, when I say beautiful, when I say I am pretty, very gorgeous, very beautiful, I'm not even talking about the outside. I'm actually, I am talking about the outside, but I'm talking about the inside as well. So when I really just started to think of myself as pretty and gorgeous and beautiful, like on the inside and out, I felt no need to be a fucking bitch to people. So then I was like, okay, I don't need to be a bitch. And then I look around and I'm not lonely. Don't get me wrong. I'm not lonely. But I would like to occupy more time with more people that are, I wouldn't say like-minded, more like who I share things in common with, and I can talk about things that I like to do with. You get what I'm saying? Because I think I used to have this saying, right? Um, I was born alone, I'll die alone. And yes, that's very true, right? But what's the point in being alone when there's so many awesome people that are around here? And that's where I'm at right now. I'm like, I really want to get to know people. I really want to explore new types of friendships and new ways of being a friend. And I think there is something in all of us that really wants to be a good friend and wants to share that with somebody. And I do want to share that. And I just never thought there was a lot of importance in friendships. And and I'm going to be honest with you. Um, and to take the blame off of myself, because that's what you're supposed to do when you don't want to take accountability for your actions. I think society has definitely groomed women into thinking that romantic relationships are way more important than platonic ones. And that, because I had another saying, that's another saying. Anytime I would get into any type of disagreement with my friends, I would get a little hostile and stuff like that, I would say, listen, I'm not going to argue with you if you're not licking my pussy. And it's not telling my friend to lick my pussy. It's basically saying, like, girl, like, if you're not like my significant other that I'm having sex with, I'm not going to engage in any arguments with you, which is basically saying that I find more importance in working out a problem with someone that I'm sleeping with than someone that I'm not. And that's ridiculous. That sounds so crazy to me when I repeat that. But like, my friends at the time really used to accept the fact that I would say shit like that. Like, what the fuck, girls? I'm sorry if you're listening to this or watching this. I am so fucking sorry. You have no idea. But what was I saying? So I used to say all that shit, and like, that's not cool. That's not cool at all. To that be your ideology, and two, to think you should be able to talk to someone like this and really grow any type of meaningful friendship. It's just ridiculous. But I think what society has done to me, again, I'm taking all of the ownership off of me and putting it on someone else, because that's what you're supposed to do. Society has basically said that if you're not wanted romantically, then you're not valuable. And I really played into that for sure. I really felt like, my value was in just anybody who would want me to be their girlfriend. Not wife. I don't want to do the wife thing. That's a little too far. We're going too far. I don't need to be that wanted. But to be someone's, girlfriend, that's just the peak. Like, to be someone else's chooses and is faithful to, like, that's where your whole value as an individual lies. And that is just ridiculous. It is so fucking ridiculous. So I put all my effort into that and none into any of my platonic friendships. And now I'm sitting here, like I said, I'm not lonely, but I'm just like, I want to go on girls trips. Like, I want to do all that cute shit and braid each other's hair and stuff like that. I want to do all that. And that's just what I want to do. I want to put effort into my friendships. Like, I've met a few people last year, and I'll pick up the bill, like, and I know that's just kind of my love language, to like pay for shit when I got some money. But I like to spend money on people when I got some money. So, um, just picking up the bill or asking the person how they're doing, how their day is, just putting more effort into those friendships. And I love the way that felt, right? Um, but for me, let's talk about the issue with that. For some odd reason, I attract straight women as friends. And maybe that's because I don't look like I lean like a cholo, but I'm leaning like a cholo, if you know what I'm saying. So, straight women and me seem to just be a match because, how I'm looking, society, we're talking about a lot about society, but society has told you got to be like all diked out and wear like Velcro sandals and like have what's that fucking haircut that white lesbians get when they get older? It's like short on the top and like kind of like long at the back. It kind of looks like fucking home Corey Matthews' brother from Boy Meets World. Like, it's like a weird like do, but yeah, you have to look like that and wear like button ups to like women. But I like the men's and I like the women's. Where was I going with this? Wow. Okay, so they don't know that, right? So this has happened to me countless times, right? And so we're sitting there, right? And it comes to the point where I'm talking about, we're talking about our relationships, our past relationships. And, I've had, relationships with women, and we're talking, and then the girl gets surprised, right? And then in my head, I'm like, okay, this is where the pause is at. Is she thinking that I actually want to eat her out? Because straight people really have the game messed up. They really be thinking that everybody wants them. And that's just not it. It's just not it. It's just not it. So that's where I'm always like, okay, like, should I pause and tell her, like, no, not you? Because let me just say this as well. I'm very clear when I like somebody. Very, very, very clear. And with consent, pretty relentless. I say what I want, and I act on what I want. So if I'm coming to you and sliding in your DMs and saying, hey girl, let's be friends, that doesn't mean I want to, scissor. I'm just here to say exactly what I said, and I meant what I said by, let's be friends. Let's go to brunch. Let's wear cute dresses and go to brunch. And I'm always scared of that. I'm always scared that I'm going to be in a situation where a girl thinks that I want her. And maybe it's like the effects of Mean Girls when Regina thought old homegirl was going to like wanted her just because she was a lesbian or liked women or whatever like that. Or she didn't even like women. She just accused her of being a lesbian. Wow. Or did she like women? No, she was with homeboy at the end. I don't know, but I have PTSD over that. Like, I never want someone to be like, oh, I hope you know that I'm like straight. I don't really like women like that. Like, I never want that shit to happen to me. None of my straight friends have ever done that to me. So I don't know why I'm so cautious about that. But like, again, if I slide into your DMs to say, hey, let's be friends or let's kick it, it's never on some like, let's kick it. Because you'll know when it's on some let's kick it. Like, you gonna know. You are going to know. The way I used to slide in DMs Mm, girl. I used to be in the motherfucking DMs. I but what's up? Hey, I'm here. Give me attention. Like I was not playing. I was not playing the way I would show up in the DM. So, like I said, if I come to you and like on some like, oh hey, let's kick it, like, oh, I'm very intentional. I'm very like straightforward. I say exactly what I want when I want it. You never have to guess. I promise you, you'll never have to guess with me. Um, but going back to the topic about friends, I'm very scared of that. I'm definitely scared of straight women feeling like they like that I like them. You know what I mean? Like, and it's almost on some like, because I've been accused of, oh, it pisses me off, bitch. I've been I've been accused of trying to turn someone before. And that shit was not a fun feeling. That was not cool at all. Because one, that bitch was like, that it was her. It was her. It was so funny. If I'm gonna tell the story real fast. So I'm in the car with this girl and she's pretty, definitely pretty. Looked good. And but it wasn't even like that. Like she reminded me very much so of my ex and like so it was just yeah, but she was pretty. That's all it was. So I'm driving, she's in the passenger seat, and she's like very much so like leaning towards me like to like talk like very like sensual and shit like that. And I'm like, I was giving, I was like, yeah, like flirting back. I was flirting back and stuff, but it was her who was doing all that shit to me, like rubbing like my back, like doing shit like that. Then so her parents really didn't like all that gay shit. Shocker. And so she decided to just tell people that I was trying to come on to her and shit like that. And I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. That it just sounds very like aggressive. Like it's definitely given again like Regina George, like the straight girl that always thinks that the gay person or the gay appearing person likes them. That's just so annoying. It's so definitely annoying. And like I said, I attract a lot of straight people. So, and it's always like, okay, so to a lot of people, I look straight, right? So when I'm meeting up with another person who is straight seeming, they're saying, um, I feel like they automatically think that I'm going to just give in to like the cisgender bullshit. You get what I'm saying? The oh, I hate trans people, I hate gay people and shit like that. And I'm just sitting there like gay. Like I'm so fucking like even if I didn't like women, I'm just like so just expressive and wanting other people to be expressive and crazy and different and weird and shit like that. So it's like, girl, I'm not with that. But because I look the way I do, I think a lot of people have assumed that I was gonna be on some like little boosie shit, and that just ain't the move with me at all, at all, at all, like at all. So I guess that's why I'm like very clear with the type of person that I am on social media. Because when I get someone to like when I get someone who asks me like, hey, like let's link up, like you seem cool, I'm hoping that you have seen me say, I don't do that homophobic shit. I don't do that transphobic shit. I don't do that um anti-black woman shit. I don't do that fat phobic I don't do none of that. I'm not gonna be out here giving you tickets and trying to cancel. I'm not that type of person at all. Like I mind my business, but in my space, we're not gonna sit here and talk shit about gay people, about trans people, about we ain't gonna do that. We don't do that over here. All right. We ain't never gonna do that shit. So, what was I saying? My oh my god, my camera's gonna die again. But yeah, I just went like super crazy, super off topic. But yeah, I'm kind of scared of straight people. I should say that. And it's not scared like I'm fearing for my life. I just don't want to be in a position where I feel uncomfortable and I feel like I don't know where to go. Do you get what I'm saying? Like I don't know how to exit. I don't like to be in those type of positions. And that's kind of where I've kind of been at. Like that's always on the back of my head like, or am I going to meet up with a homophobe? Do you get what I'm saying? Like that's so stupid, but like it's reality. Cuz like okay, one time I met up with this girl, Mexican girl, right? And she's talking, da 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 da, nigga. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's like I'm sitting here and I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna have to never talk to you again. Like I was cool, like you know what I mean. I didn't even clock her. I didn't clock her for it at all. I was just like, I will never speak to you again. I will never hang out with you again, and I never did, and I never will still. But I just don't like being in uncomfortable positions. So it's like it's literally dating. Like trying to find new friends is literally dating. I have a homegirl that is actually on Bumble, and I was like, "Oh, girl, you down with the gays now?" And she was like, "No, I'm looking for friends. I guess there's people who look for friends on Bumble too." And you don't think of when you're trying to meet new friends, you don't think of that kind of being dating in a way, not trying to lead up to licking cats, but trying to lead up into a flourishing friendship. And you never think about that. Like you never think about, oh, this is kind of dating, but it kind of is. It's like a trial and error. Do you know how many times I've done a trial and error on friends? Like, oh, you're so cool. You seem so nice, or whatever, whatever. You meet up and she's Mexican and she says nigga. She's a black cisgender woman and she hates trans people. She's white and she's like mad Christian, and which is fine, just completely fine, but you know which ones I'm talking about. And the thing is that like you can be those things, but like I feel like something else has to stand out to where I'm like, I gotta see this person again. And a lot of these people just be riding on just being annoying. They really do. Like the annoyingness just stands out more than their actual like anything else good about their personality, right? So I'm like, damn, you're Mexican, you say nigga, but like you have no other good like you have no other good qualities that are standing out to where I'm just like, okay, let me just forget about that. She's saying nigga and shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, or you're transphobic, but nothing else stands out other than you being so transphobic. People have taken their problematic behavior and making it like their character trait. It's so weird. It's so fucking weird. Like when I say problematic, I don't mean like I feel like you should change this. Like you do whatever the fuck you want to do, but the fact that your character trait, like everything that defines you is off of that view is just really annoying. Like I know people who the first conversation that they have to have about someone is like a debate about trans people or a debate about gay people. I'm just like, yo, so this is all you got, right? This is all you got is the fact that you don't like to pay for women on the first date. Do you know what I mean? Like it's like you really stand on that and that's it. That's all you have to give. Like homeboy, okay, I'm not even gonna talk about that guy because like that's so irrelevant. But there's people who have podcasts that the topic is literally about male and female roles, and that's it. That's all they have to talk about. That's all they've got to talk about. I'm like, yo, that is literally a character trait. That is literally one of your traits. Like just like you have like blue or green eyes, one of those traits of yours is should men pay for women when they're on the first date, but he has 8 toes but not 10. And like, yo, what the fuck? Like, so I just yeah, I'm just very accepting to people. Yeah, but I have a little bit of standards still. You get what I'm saying? Like did get to the place where I was kind of getting desperate, and I was like, okay, well, I'll just kind of take anybody that would want to be around or whatever, and it was getting kind of annoying. So I was like, okay, um, actually have standards and um, actually be able to match those standards, right? So my standards for a friend is someone who listens, someone who is open-minded, someone who is generous, someone who has fucking manners. You know what I'm saying? Like, won't embarrass you when you guys go out to restaurants. I've had mad friends like that. I had a friend fucking tip somebody 25 cents. Like, yo, like that's where that friendship should have been over. Or like, so I met this girl, right? And she was cool. She was cool as fuck, but like she would always want to talk over me. Anytime I would say something, she just wanted to talk over me. Or she didn't reply to what I said. She would just go off of something that she wanted to talk about, right? So I was like, I do not like this character trait about her. And then I asked myself again, and I asked myself another question. Why am I able to point this character trait out from her so easily? Let me see how I communicate with other people. And I saw that I really didn't give a damn about what other people had to say. And it was kind of all about what I had to say, right? Just like just like this podcast. It's all about what I want to talk about. But we're not on the fucking podcast. I am having a conversation between me and someone else, and all I want to talk about is me and what the fuck I want to say. You get what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, let me not be that kind of friend. Let me be the person who can sit down and listen to somebody and reply without emotion. I think a lot of times I was replying out of emotion with friends and shit. And you can't do that. You really can't do that. And I mean, you can do that, but you're going to end up like me, lonely as fuck. You get what I'm saying? So I don't want to do that shit. Right? So this year, I'm going to be a better friend. I'm going to listen. I'm going to be generous. I'm going to be open-minded. I'm going to be someone with fucking values, fucking morals. We gonna rock out with our cock out because we gonna get some friends this year. We gonna get some valuable friends. I'm praying for wine nights. I'm praying for game nights. I'm praying for trips outside the country. I'm praying for long FaceTime calls and text messages all day. I'm praying for that. And we gonna find some new friends this year. And I'm really excited because I'm the best version of myself right now. And I'm super excited to meet new people who are the best versions of themselves, because I know the people that I'm going to come across this year are going to be reflections of myself. And I'm so awesome and beautiful. Look at me. So we're going to wrap this episode up. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you are listening, I'm going to upload a YouTube video on Friday. If you're watching, I have this on audio on anywhere you could find podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, I think on SoundCloud, As If the Podcast with Asia My Queen. You could find that on audio. And again, on audio, if you're just listening, you could watch me on YouTube on Fridays. So Thursday audio, Friday video. And you can follow me everywhere, Asia My Queen, on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. I use Twitter a lot, but I don't really have any followers. I just go on there to tweet, delete. Asia My Queen on YouTube. Subscribe to my channel if you like me. And if you don't like me, that's okay. You still going to subscribe to my channel. Because I'm nice. I'm cool. I'm all right. Thank you guys so much for listening, watching, whatever you're doing. Love you so much. Mwah. Bye-bye.